guys, welcome back to Any Sooner. As always, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Join the family. We're always excited to have you guys. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Indie Sooner. It's your boy JP. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're always loving the channel growing. I really appreciate you guys and those who've been with me. We're almost up to 1,500 subscribers, so let's keep it going, keep sharing, keep liking, all of that. Hit the notification bell at the top so that you can be notified when I do drop a video. All right, let's just get right to it. Man, Browns fans are something else, dog. They're something else. You see it. Browns fans that are here, I'm a Sooner fan. Yeah, I rock with Baker heavy. I do, just like most Sooner fans. I pride myself on being real, rational, no matter what one of my friends may tell you. I do nuanced takes. I look at the whole scope. I don't do hot takes. I never have. I really haven't. I've grown my Twitter following and my channel based on real takes. Even my boy Trav and I, when we talk about stuff on our JP and Trav show, we don't do hot takes. We're real. We're raw, authentic. We look at life through a gray lens because not everything is just black and white. You can't just pull up stats and say this is what it is. So with that being said, why are people in Cleveland so ready to be done with Baker? Why? Ask yourself that question. Because I sat here and listened to a space tonight where people are out here saying they'd rather have Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins. Listen to me. Even if you think those two are slight upgrades over a healthy Baker Mayfield, mind you, obviously they're upgrades over an injured Baker Mayfield, especially an injured Baker Mayfield with a torn freaking labrum and a fractured shoulder. Even if you think they're upgrades over a healthy Baker Mayfield, how much bigger of an upgrade is it? Are you really saying it's that stark of a difference that if the same thing happens to Cleveland this year that happened to them, because it wasn't just Baker, I'm about to go into that they're going to be able to do the things necessary to get you to where you needed to go? Because here's what I heard somebody say on this space. Yeah, I think that they can lead us to the playoffs. I'm sorry. Didn't Baker do that last year? Did he not just lead you to the playoffs for the first time in 18 years last year and then win you a playoff game for the first time in 35 years last year? And because you didn't make the playoffs this year, he's not the guy, even though he played hurt. And yeah, look, he had a couple mental mistakes too. He really did. It's not as much as people have you believe, especially early on. The last 5 to 6 games were up and down and rough, to be honest with you. But with everything that was going on, that doesn't surprise me. It's not an excuse because he needs to get better at that. But at the same time, we talk about mental health. I mean, you got to wonder what's going through his mind with that, right? But that's one place I would say he needs to grow. I can be nuanced. I'm a Baker stan, but that's facts. Right? There are some things like in the Packers game and the Steelers game, open passes that he just didn't throw. That's a fact. But that stems from his injuries, I think, confidence. And you also have to look at Kevin Stefanski and how he's calling plays. Some plays are open, but other games he really didn't do well. He didn't run the ball as much as he should have. But that also, right, there's problems that beget problems. That also goes back to the offensive line not being what they were last year because they've been injured, especially at the tackle positions like crazy. Lost their top 2 tackles really in Wills and Hubbard. Wills has been a shell of himself because of that ankle injury. And then Conklin is gone too. So top 2 tackles, top 2 of their top 3, in Conklin and Hubbard that are gone for the year, basically. And then Wills who's struggling. So you're not protecting as well as you did last year. You're really all-pro guard center guard combo, which is probably best in the league. It has done pretty good as well, but they also have been dealing with some COVID issues and different things like that. So they weren't running the ball well, which means that Kevin Stefanski didn't feel like he could stick with it, even though he probably should have. And then he passed it a ton. And you're not being able to protect Baker. Baker's probably skittish because he's trying to, protect his shoulder. This is what I'm saying. Like, these are nuanced things that people need to talk about, but instead they're just saying, well, he just can't get it done. And Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins. No, Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins are not overcoming that. I'm sorry. They're just not. Especially if they're injured. Put them in the same situation. They're not. You need an Aaron Rodgers. You need a Patrick Mahomes at his best. Right? Those are probably the two quarterbacks I would say. The way Joe Burrow's playing the last couple weeks, if he plays like that, sure, maybe. You can say that too. But you also got to have the weapons. Cleveland don't have nobody creating separation. They got people getting open for 5-yard sticks. But who's really creating separation down the field? Think about it. Just think about it. Here's my other point. I just think people don't like Baker. He's a polarizing guy. It's crazy because, you're 0-16 and 1-15 the 2 years before you draft him. He comes in, wins you 7 games immediately. Breaks a rookie touchdown record. Have you guys excited? Freddie Kitchens comes in. You get OBJ. Freddie Kitchens is a disaster. Everybody acknowledges that. But somehow Baker gets blamed for that. And they say, well, you've been through 4 coaches. Look, whose fault is that? Clearly the quarterback. Are you telling me you wanted to keep Hugh Jackson and you wanted to keep Greg Williams and you wanted to keep Freddie Kitchens? No, you're not. So that's a terrible excuse. It's a terrible argument. It just is. Baker's not the reason they got fired. They're the reason they got fired. Straight up. Kevin's not getting fired because of Baker. People don't think it's on Kevin. People at this point think it's on Baker. So why would people think it's on Baker, the other coaches, if it's not actually on them? Thank you. Okay. Anyways, let me get back on track. Freddie Kitchens was abysmal. Okay. Baker still had 1,000-yard season with OBJ and Jarvis Landry. Interception rate was stupid high, 22-21, bad. Everybody's ragging on him. Last year, he actually gets some competent coaching. Okay? Throws for 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Or 26, 8 interceptions. Top 10 quarterback in the last 11 weeks. Top 10 in QBR. Wins Cleveland Browns their first playoff game in 35 years. At Pittsburgh, mind you. I don't care that there wasn't fans. I know fans make a little bit of a difference. Not even a little bit. I'll say they make a decent amount of a difference. But it still happened. Are you just going to take it away like it didn't happen? Okay. Yeah. It's just, I don't understand how we've gone so quickly from he did this for us last year to now he's injured. And there's also a lot of other external factors that happened. And we can't give him a 5th year to be healthy and prove that he's the guy. Then somebody needs to make that make sense to me. They really do. Because if we're going to sit here and say that a healthy Baker Mayfield performs the same way that he did this year, that's ridiculous. Because then, you could say that that's on Baker, but really it's on Kevin Stefanski if he's healthy and regressed that way after the way he looked last year. Right? Okay, so clearly something's wrong. And clearly the way people outline it, guys, is, and some Browns fans, the way they outline it and the media outlines it, he has everything he needs. On paper. He's got a top 3 O-line. On paper, when they're not hurt and dealing with COVID issues, he's got the number 1 duo in the league. Yeah, when Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are actually playing together, except they only did 3 weeks out of the whole year. He's got all the wide receivers he needs. Actually, his best graded wide receiver by PFF was Donovan Peoples-Jones at 44th. You tell me he wouldn't even be a wide receiver 1 on any other team. He'd be a at best wide receiver 2, halfway wide receiver 2 at that. But he's your wide receiver 1. Jarvis Landry's way down the list. Troy Higgins way down the list. Anthony Schwartz, concussion, so he really couldn't get going. Demetri Felton didn't pan out like y'all thought he would. Then we got the tight ends. And Njoku is, dealing with COVID half the year. And he's not really being used the way he probably should. Harrison Bryant is hurt. Austin Hooper can't catch a cold. And just drops anytime he gets the football. So then you tell me who Baker's passing to. They're open at times. But really, who's he passing to? Majority of the time. You got to help your injured quarterback. But everybody's just, we're skipping over that. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. They're just done with him in Cleveland. They think he's just not the guy. He can't think straight. He doesn't know how to be a quarterback mentally. It's what they said. Like, you can look at it and you can study film all you want, but to sit here and say that through his 4 years, that dude don't know what he's doing is nuts. It's dumb. It's just not true. It's lazy. It's a lazy take. Could he be being lazy and not actually going through his reads? Sure. But to say he doesn't know how is ridiculous. That you're not an NFL quarterback for 4 years if you don't know how to do that. They move on from you. I'm just saying. So the last thing I wanted to get to here, because I've already spent too much time on this. Ryan Tannehill has the same amount of touchdowns to interceptions. Excuse me, one more interception actually than Baker does this year. He's been fully healthy all year, mind you. Missing Derrick Henry, so I'll give him that. 17 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. The Tennessee Titans are 11-5. They are literally winning the AFC South. They are almost the number 1 seed in the AFC. But we're over here killing Baker for a 17 touchdown, 13 interception performance in a year where he was hurt all year. The team wasn't what they were all year. And don't get started on defense. Defense has been okay. Good, really good the last couple weeks. Terrible the first couple weeks. In the middle. Defense didn't live up to what they're supposed to do, especially in closeout situations. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Closeout situations. Look at the numbers. When the defense had an opportunity to make a stop, did they make a stop? Just look at it. That's all I'm gonna say. But Ryan Tannehill is not getting killed. Is it because he's quiet? Is it because he's already been in one stop? I just wonder because, the Tennessee Titans had Super Bowl aspirations too, did they not? You were told by the media, Cleveland Browns fans, you were told by the media you had the best roster. And you do have a really good roster, don't get me wrong, but when it's healthy, you guys weren't fully healthy all year. So you can't sit here and say another average quarterback that you feel like you want to go get is going to be able to handle the same situation because they won't. Quarterbacks don't want to come to Cleveland. Let's just be real. Baker did. He wanted to change it. And, at least last year, that's what it seemed like. Now everybody's turning on him like he's trash. Like, this was literally what I've heard people say. He's trash. Turning on him. He's supposed to be one of y'all. He's supposed to be one of y'all. Fighting, scrapping. That's what Cleveland's about, right? Blue collar tough. Y'all don't care about that, though, because he didn't get you to the Super Bowl like you wanted him to. It's ridiculous, if you ask me. Please trade him. Please, I'm begging you. Trade him to the Saints. Let him go to the Saints. Let him go to the Broncos. I'm telling you. Let it happen. Let it happen. You will regret it. You'll regret it. Because if you actually go back in time, you look, Baker, and shameless plug, Baker's been inconsistent. He has. I'm fine with saying that. That's the truth. I told my friends that's the truth. He's been inconsistent. But if we're going to sit here and you're going to tell me Baker doesn't have the ability to be a really good quarterback, like a friend's top 10 to 12 quarterback, you're nuts. And you don't watch football, and you don't actually pay attention. You're just being polarized by the media and by what you think and by stat looking. Because Baker's got all the intangibles. Trent Dilfer said it earlier today. There's not much talent difference between Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield. As much as you want to think, just because you see Joe Burrow throw, first of all, to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins better than any weapons Baker's ever had, besides OBJ, I guess, if you want to say that. But even still, look, I'm just saying, didn't produce. Regardless of that, there's not much talent difference. Baker's got a better arm than Joe. The difference is Joe, I think, is comfortable in who he is right now. That's what Trent said. And I can agree with that. Once Baker figures out he don't have to press so much, that's what will make him a really good quarterback because he's got the talent. People want to act like he don't have the talent. People want to say that he's slow, that he's this, he's that. Man, that's not true. Okay? Baker got some wheels on him. He's not super fast, but he can get away from pressure. He's just got to make the right decisions consistently. That's his issue. And if people would just realize that, I wouldn't really trip that much and defend him so much. I'd be like, okay, thank you. It's a reasonable conversation. Yes, things he needs to work on, but let's at least come to the fact that he has the talent to be this. Okay? I'm not saying he has the talent to be a starting quarterback, right? I think his floor is His floor is a backup quarterback. Like, it's very, very low floor. I guess you can say that for anybody. I mean, his below average play, I think, is starting quarterback material. His average play, I think, is top 18 to 15 material. And at his best, I think he's a fringe top 10 quarterback. I think we've seen that. We saw it the last stretch of his rookie season. We saw it the last 11 games of last year. So I'm just sick of the back and forth. That's what it is. Y'all think this grass is greener on the other side, Browns fans? It's not. It's not, unless you're going to get Aaron Rodgers. But here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers don't want to come to Cleveland. Russell Wilson don't want to come to Cleveland. Deal with the media y'all been talking about the last couple of days. Please. Please. It's just not happening. So, I didn't mean to come in here and dunk on y'all like that, but I had to do what I had to do. If you want to talk about it, invite me to a space. I'm ready. I should have hopped in there tonight. I would have torn y'all a new one. I should have. Because the thing is there's no rationality. It's all black and white. Well, we just can't get it done, even though we got it done last year. And the Cowboys, who were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders almost every year, you know, Dak Prescott's gone 8-8. How many times missed the playoffs? But, I mean, we're not moving on from him. He eventually, right, they franchise tagged him. They gave him an opportunity, Give him one more year. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying sign him. That's not what this video is about. I wouldn't sign him right now either. I'm not going to lie. But he deserves to be healthy and have a fifth year. He just does. And for y'all not think that is nutso. It's crazy. It's cuckoo. It's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo in the head. So, hey, for all my other followers that normally are with me on here, remember I'm going to try to go live at some point tomorrow downtown at the Experience. I'm in Indianapolis. So, you know, we got the College Football National Championship between Georgia and Alabama on Monday. And next week, come back here for a JP and Travis show on Wednesday night live. Hey, we got a big one coming on from Sooner Nation that you guys know really well. If you're a part of Sooner Nation, you're going to be excited for him to come on next week. So, hey, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking with me. I know it's a long video. Been a minute since I've done one this long. But you know what? Baker deserved it because those fans in Cleveland are ridiculous. I have no words, no more superlatives. So, I'll talk to y'all soon. Boomer. I would do anything, they make sure I'm not in line.